You know, Joe is a good family friend. He's a member of our family. We feel like that. He helped us through an incredibly difficult time. But I'm not going to get involved in any of it. I love Joe to death. I love a lot of people, but I'm just, it's not my place to do that.
So that was Cindy McCain last year when she was asked by our Nicole Kreitz about whether or not she would endorse former Vice President and family friend Joe Biden in his bid for the White House. Well, then she was talking about her husband's passing, and she wasn't ready to step into that political conversation. But this morning, things have changed. The world has changed, and so has Cindy McCain's perspective. So joining us this morning, we're very grateful for your time. Cindy McCain joining us to talk about why she is making the bold announcement to cross party lines and endorse Joe Biden for president. So Mrs. McCain, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. And we got to say, one of the great privileges of working at 3TV and Arizona's family over the years was the opportunity to meet your husband many times over. And he would often make us chuckle when he would join us in studio because we would introduce him and talk about his incredible career and also the fact that he had ran for president in 2008. And he'd say, well, oh, you always have to mention that, right? Why does that have to be part of it? So I can understand why you would have put presidential politics, you know, in a mental and emotional box way back in 2008 and wanted to move on, but clearly things have changed. So please, in your own phrasing, let us know why you're deciding to make this decision and this very public announcement to support Joe Biden.
Well, I'm like everybody else. I have been watching on television and paying attention to the news with regards to not only the campaigns, but what's actually happening in America. And I just felt like I couldn't sit by. This country is in crisis right now. It's turmoil beyond belief. We have people that won't speak to each other because of what party they're in. I mean, working across the aisle was something that John McCain and Joe Biden did regularly and made sure that they not only did it, they didn't always agree, but it was for the good of the country. And I think we've lost our compass on this. And so to me, it was very important to not only support Joe, but to make others understand that he has the empathy, the courage, the integrity, and just the incredible understanding of what America is. And so I'm just grateful to be a part of Team Biden. I'm very pleased that I could do this, and I look forward to campaigning.
It is no question about it. I mean, 2020 has just been an upside down year and our lives are bizarre. And the polarization during an already difficult time of a pandemic has been exhausting to say the least. So to have the courage now to know that you're going to endure an incredible backlash from Republicans across the country, particularly here in Arizona, who do believe that President Trump is the Republican Party now and is the face of patriotism. To them, what do you say?
No one party holds the cause of patriotism, first of all. Listen, this is my opinion. These are my beliefs. This is what I want to do, and I'm entitled to do just that. And I respect others who disagree with me. But this is for the good of the country, as I said. Joe, the Biden family and the McCain family have a lot in common. Not only that we've known each other for over 40 years, but more importantly, we are Blue Star families. And we watched our sons get on board buses or planes or however they left to head into combat. I mean, that's the kind of thing with regards to Joe, respect for the military. Young men and women who gave their lives, gave the ultimate sacrifice, are not losers. They're not suckers. And neither are the young men and women who are serving now. So I think that an important aspect of this is respecting our troop, respecting what America stands for, and more importantly, the belief that we are good and that we will be good again. It's most importantly, it's really about bringing the country together, mending fences, working across the aisle, and reminding people that empathy and all the things I mentioned earlier are very important in being a good leader.
The hurtful comments that have been made in regards to your husband's incredible contributions to this country and his life of service and his time as a prisoner of war, made by President Donald Trump, obviously have, I'm sure, struck incredibly painful nerves within your family and within you as a spouse, as you want to protect his legacy and you know who he was and what he gave. Especially now, the president, of course, refutes that he makes these comments about the military and has disregarded the military. And he says that he is a law and order president who supports the military more strongly than any other president in America's history. So do you see that evidenced in his behaviors? And how do you put together the words and actions of the current administration?
Well, it's first of all, it's not my place to determine what the administration is doing. I watch, like everyone else, as I mentioned, what occurs on a daily basis. And so what I see is the necessity, I hope, to bring women into this conversation, more women into the conversation, hopefully help them step across and out of their comfort zone a little bit, the same way I've done. I am a Republican, and I will always be a Republican, but I support Joe Biden because I think he's the better candidate.
We have heard and seen the ads and heard from President Trump a description of Joe Biden's America, one of chaos, one of protest, of the civil unrest that we are seeing right now playing out in many parts of the country, and the volatility. And that is being depicted as Joe Biden's America. President Trump is the one sitting in the White House. The Republicans have control of the United States Senate. So from your perspective of 40 years of knowing the Biden family and Joe Biden as a person and politician, how do you expect Joe Biden's America to look should he be elected to the White House?
I think Joe Biden's America would be something to behold, working across the aisle, working together as members of the Senate and the House for the good of the country and not for partisan politics. That's what Joe represents. I'm no different than anybody else. I'm a grandmother. I live in a community that I've lived in my entire life. I'm also someone who owns a business. I want my president to have my back. And right now, I do not believe our president has my back. I want everyone to feel the comfort and the safety that we feel when we know our president is doing the right thing.
Cindy McCain, out of time. Let me just a yes or no question as we wrap up. Do you still consider yourself today in 2020 to be a Republican?
Absolutely. As I said, I'm a Republican now and will always be a Republican. I'm just doing this because it's the right thing to do. And in my heart, it's the right thing to do.
Thank you so much for your time this morning, making time for Arizona's family. You have been a part of the family for so long. And again, it was our great honor to get to know just peripherally your husband, and also to honor him as we all said goodbye to him as a state and grieved his loss. So thank you again, and all the best to you and your family.
Thank you.